Good morning, direct from Los Angeles. This is Early Mornings LALATE with big news about Wall Street and your stimulus. Overnight, the stimulus bill effectively got finalized. The reconciliation bill was approved by Congress. And with that, your third stimulus package is going to be becoming law shortly. It's not an issue of whether or how, it's actually just an issue of what day. The stimulus package will get you a stimulus check of $1,400, $2,800 for adult dependents, $3,200 for adult dependents, $2,800 for married couples, and $1,400 for children. And there's some surprises in there as well that no one saw coming. Meantime, big updates across the board with vaccine rollouts. Great news announced yesterday. And big news from Wall Street as one major CEO steps aside. We have all the breaking details this morning on Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LALATE, direct from Los Angeles. This is LALATE, the most comprehensive news channel for financial news online, delivering and reporting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from 1 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next day. We started Early Mornings with EIDL, which you're going to see in this recording is back on, baby. Yes, EIDL grant is back under the third stimulus package. Spoiler alert. And then we followed at 2 a.m. with FPUC. This show is followed at 3:30 or on the East Coast, 6:30 a.m. with continuation of Early Mornings LALATE. So please subscribe. This is the best darn financial news channel out there. Reporting across the board, and boy, details that you've never seen anywhere else. Also like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. They're chatting now over there in the instant chat. Purple Hawks, Purple Power, and Calcino VIPs. There was a new Calcino VIP last night. Kenneth from Coining became a new Calcino VIP. Thank you for doing so. And with that, there's so much happening across the board. In this recording, I'm going to go over what happened yesterday. Singularly, the most important day on stimulus since CARES Act 1 of 2020. And then big news about the vaccine rollout. Actually, several great items of news. I'm so excited for you. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you start a Wednesday morning is that the finality has been reached. A reconciliation bill was passed yesterday in the House of Representatives and the Senate, which basically functions metaphorically as a tow truck with a tow hitch behind it. The tow truck is the reconciliation bill. It doesn't substantially have a lot to do with anything. It's a procedural instrument. What does it do? It pulls what's on the tow hitch behind it over the finish line. What is on the tow hitch? The $1.9 trillion stimulus package from Joe Biden. Why does it work the way it does? It basically causes the following events to occur. When they pass the reconciliation bill, then it allows them to pass the stimulus bill of $1.9 trillion with not a single GOP vote needed. In essence, all they have to do is hold the party line, and the stimulus bill becomes law. With that, because the party held its line on the truck driving over the finish line, they're likely to do the same with the stimulus right behind it. So how soon could we see this? Well, it could be in the next few days or shortly thereafter. We don't have clarity, but we do know it is now a finality. It's not an issue of whether it's going to become law or how it's going to become law. The issue is just simply what day. All really incredible news. You're finally getting your third stimulus package. So what is in the third stimulus package? On the recording after this at 6:30 a.m., I go more into details because there's over 22 items in the third stimulus package. And yesterday we found out 2 more that we had never heard of before. But in this recording, I want to give you a highlight of what the surprise was. Yesterday, we had two major surprises, which came from a press release from Nancy Pelosi about the reconciliation. The press release, of course, was delivered first to members of this channel. When you're a member of this channel, you get press releases, PDFs, details of what are in things, so you can pounce before I pounce and drop stuff on set as a purple hawk to get this money before anyone else. And what did Nancy say in that PDF or that press release? She said the third stimulus package is going to have another round of EIDL grant advances. Boy, this is big news. If you don't know, EIDL grant advance is the same thing as what I refer to as EIDL grant. This is the EIDL grant, which went live in 2020 of $10,000. Then it went away in July. Then it came back under second stimulus, but no one has gotten a new one in 2021. It's funding the program so that everyone gets caught up. Wow, this is a big one. The other big one was mortgage assistance. This was shocking. Now, let me explain that word. The word assistance means moolah, money. It does not mean forbearance. Last night I saw the immediate reaction. I had to clarify it to viewers. We already have a mortgage forbearance on the books by executive order. Mortgage assistance means money to help pay your mortgage. Nothing in Nancy Pelosi's statement said it was only for assisting certain types of mortgages. It just said mortgage assistance, like rent assistance. Rent assistance is not rent forbearance. It means it's actually, here's some rent money, here's some mortgage money. This is a huge, huge surprise because I get this question all the time from viewers. When and how can I get this money? So with that came the revelation that we finally got to the finish line. The question is what day? The reconciliation is like the tow truck that pulls a tow hitch behind it. All it needs to do is get that tow hitch over the finish line. It's no longer an issue of how or can it or will it. It's an issue of what day it will. We already know generally what is in the tow hitch. We don't know some details like hazard pay still. But ultimately, there's not much room to modify. What's in the tow hitch is what it's in the tow hitch. So there's no modification there. But there's some surprises. Let me give you the other surprises. The first one is the stimulus check. Joe Biden yesterday and his press secretary both said, ostensibly, without saying in these exact same words, that he's concerned that the $1.9 trillion stimulus package price tag of the third stimulus package is just on the edge of being too small. Wow. It's as though he was listening to you, the Purple Power that follows this channel, and your tweets, listening to this channel, and saying, go bigger, go bolder, Joe. Why is this not $3 trillion to $5 trillion? Why is this only 1.9? It teed up, ostensibly, what he promised during the campaign trail and the transition papers. He will be back with another stimulus package as often as he so needs to get to the end of this pandemic. Meaning that don't think this is the only final stimulus package. He now is signaling, I think this was a little too small. I did this as an emergency situation, but now we see big concerns about other things, which I'll detail in a second, like the pandemic and the new strains of the virus. Wow. $1,400 stimulus check for individuals, $2,800 for married couple, $3,200 for adult dependents, $1,400 for children. If you're on SSI or any benefits, you get the same as everyone else. But there's still possibility for another stimulus check in the future. This is really big news. Hashtag MSC. Keep the tweeting going. Next. The next big item that was really surprising is that FPUC will go all the way to September at $400 a week from January. So if you remain unemployed the entire time, which is sadly would be a very long time to be unemployed, you could get upwards of about $14,000 on just FPUC. Then you can get your UI and PUA under that. And if you did make over $25,000, $18,000, $30,000, you need to do what I do on this detail on this channel called escalated benefits, which can raise your benefits up to about $300 a week. You could be getting $300 to $500 a week and $300 of FPUC. You could be getting $600, $800 a week on unemployment. This is a lot of money. Great news there. Next, we turn to what else basically is now in place. It's important to understand you saw a lot of things coming across the news in the last 24 hours. Number one, the Republican plan. Don't consider it, don't worry about it, don't think about it. Ultimately, you heard the Republicans do this, they've been shut down. A series of new reports overnight and yesterday said that Joe Biden's camp said you need to go big and bold and don't be held back. Elizabeth Warren said stop falling for the Republican tactic, which is delay, delay, delay. She basically said your Zoom chats with the other side have been, pleasant. But she says they're setting you up. What they do is they just talk you to death and they never do anything. That you look back 3 weeks and you're like, wait a second, I still don't have a bill. You're still talking about the situation. And that's why Joe Biden went bold. Now, other indications now suggest he may use this process of reconciliation continually going forward as often as he needs for other stimulus packages. This is big news. Then we turn to the big issue of SSI and SSDI. Indications still suggest that Joe Biden will do this as a big, major standalone bill. So do not think that it's not there, it's not happening. Standalone still seems to be the most important factor of that issue. In fact, transition documents obtained by LALATE, which I had for several weeks, I re-reviewed yesterday, and he again talks about two possibilities, either in the stimulus package or standalone. By all accounts, it looks like they're doing standalone. Next, student loan debt forgiveness of $10,000, that still is going to be standalone. Then the teachers' aides, and then the railroad, and then the highways. A lot of stimulus packages to do, and a lot of ways to get them done, but the easiest is reconciliation. Next, let's turn to big news across the board on Wall Street and the vaccine. The big news on the vaccine is that 200 million doses will be produced by Pfizer faster than originally believed. A correction, 300 million. Those 300 million doses will be delivered to U.S. authorities in May, not in July. They confirmed they are able to ramp up the production and get them out faster. The White House has ordered 200 million doses from Moderna and Pfizer, so there could be more doses still coming from Moderna. Pfizer confirms that of its about 28 million doses it's delivered to the White House, only 17 million have been used. There, of course, is 25 million missing. Other big great news overnight is that the Biden camp has now ordered that all vaccines be distributed to your local pharmacy. This is great news. 40,000 pharmacies across the country will be able to carry the vaccines so that you can be vaccinated very easy in the next few weeks. In addition, no less than about 16,000 retail stores of the major big box retailers will carry the vaccine as well. The focus of the Biden camp is to get into many pharmacies and big box retailers so there's easy distribution on your street corner across the board. Then, in Wall Street, there was a lot of breaking news yesterday. The day ended with Jeff Bezos stepping down as CEO of Amazon. He'll remain on the board, however. Meantime, that Reddit situation went really south really fast. That message board called Reddit and a sub-message board called Wall Street Bets, well, they didn't bet very well. They had tried to get users to buy up and push up the price of stocks like GameStop and Express and AMC. Yesterday, they continued to fall and fall even more. It was on a day in which the rest of Wall Street was up. Wall Street ended up for the day, up about 2% for the NASDAQ and about 2% for the Dow. They're also trading up in pre-hour trading today as well. If you have questions or comments in today's video, drop them in the comments below and I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Up next, on the continuation of Early Mornings LALATE, I go over the items that are in the third stimulus package. All across the board. You're never seeing this detail anywhere else. If you look to broadcast news, you're not going to find it. If you look online, you ain't going to find it. A lot of these details are sort of splattered and buried in articles here and there, and they're not put in one cohesive place. And so that's why when you tune in here, you get it all simple, straightforward, and informative. The best darn financial news channel online. So make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Stay informed, and in 30 minutes, join me for the continuation on Early Mornings LALATE.